Life.
Good morning, Docstar TV. Welcome to the Miracle of Mushrooms. I'm Oliver, coming to you live late at night in Bangkok, where each episode we talk about something new, exciting, and amazing about thunder shrooms that awaits you to help you unlock your maximum healing potential. And I say this every week, which is that the mushroom is going to help you unlock your healing potential because ultimately you're the one that's doing the hard work and not even you, as you know, in the research for, but that's only the beginning. Once you eat it, even though all the work that's got into it, your cells are the ones that are due, which sometimes we are, well, not sometimes, all the time in all humans, we are very rarely able to reach our maximum healing potential because of the way we live. And with something like thunder shrooms and lifestyle adjustment through the perfect day lifestyle, because at the end of our day, our health. So when we take strong, confident action, then we can start to see real change. And it's always something I always love to remind people because health is never a static, it's never a single state of moving and still. The only time you're still is when you're not ease and disease. And as our every moment of 1% every day. So again, it's never too late to start taking action. And the really something exciting I'd love to share with you is that Dr. Darrell Wolf running across, we're at which is a tremendous opportunity for people who haven't yet started their journey of immune balance, of immune to continue that journey at a more financially attractive way. And for those of you who haven't started your journey yet, this is the perfect time to start. You're getting available in the world. And this is not in English, which is why many of you might not have heard of it yet. But this is research based on 2,000 years of observed evidence in use and highly prized in traditional medicine, fertility, to immune helping your journey with thunder shrooms now. If you're going to take advantage of this, what's the right thing for me? Really need to assess your own state of immune ease or disease. And Dr. Wolf really, he loves it. He has, we like to think that our matter for my health, our health problem, we're in a hole that's 40 feet deep or even 80 feet deep. And we only think that a 5-foot ladder is going to be enough to help us get out. So I invite you to really ask yourself some maybe more difficult questions about the real state of your health. And without taking blood tests or urine tests or other type of actual diagnostic ways to measure these things, self-talk is a very, it's almost an invaluable. How well does our body function in certain ways, thinking, or these different we recover, and observing that and observing over doing some activities tests in the past 2 years than I had ever felt state of health, because the it's very great. It's amazing if you buy if you get a 5-foot ladder versus no ladder. But if you have shoe, you and in the difference immune symptoms showing as inflammation or showing as skin swelling or as bloatedness or as chronic fatigue, these are all signs of the body's functioning being less than optimal. And so the number one culprit in these situations is inflammation. And we talk about this on many shows on the Doc of the Ducks Library, where inflammation is really the fire in at some point where there's a presence of certain molecules in the body, which tells the body to, hey, what do you call it? The thing that measures the temperature to gauge your body is getting chronic inflammation. Need a better choice for you. And if you are seemingly very healthy, you seemingly don't get colds and flus very often or have any food allergies or any type of chronic swelling or chronic fatigue, to maintain a very balanced and healthy immune state. Basically from the things we eat in modern day, gossip and useless things like this, we create stressful responses in our body all the time. I mean, just scrolling through social media, maybe you'll sense to that or how poorly it does. This is now we're leading into the second topic of the show, which is the hallmarks of anti-aging. And so even where we see minimal damage to stressful moments, that unseen damage might be what we call immune imbalance. And that's simply where the inflammatory part of the immune system starts to dominate the anti-inflammatory system within the immune system. We have two tracks simplified version. We have two track, we have multiple, but for today's discussion and for the mushrooms, we look at just two tracks, which is the pro-inflammatory and the anti-inflammatory response that the immune system can have. And for modern life, even we might not feel sick or look like we have chronic inflammation, just from modern living, we know that the pro-inflammatory immune response will naturally start to life. So even if we don't see anything, then the Vital Life Daily has a very good supportive role at keeping that Thundershrooms, both Vital Life and Critical Care, are your best friend when it comes to anti-aging. And one of the best things, all types of immune conditions, we disconnected just briefly there, and almost like a cell might lose communication as we age. The service got knocked out and we lost function. And that's really what happens as we age. And maybe if I didn't notice that the signal had collapsed, I might be talking for 20 minutes and this is just like in front of himself. So this is really a good way for me to bring back to where we were, which was in my years at the Mushroom Clinic in Thailand. This is the side of performing inside. And today's topic of the show, today's title, is called The Hallmarks of Anti-Aging. Now, this is a terminology you might see increasingly because the study of anti-aging is becoming much more popular, especially on some big phenomenon that's somehow almost like a disease that we can avoid, but we can never avoid it. Of course, we know what life leads to, and we want to build like a biological thing. Well, there's different models, and people say there's 9 things, and some people say there's 7 things, and some anti-aging scientists believe that rings that we can, how much damage does our body, the anti-aging hallmarks that we want to pay attention. How well is our body responding to that damage? And what are the knock-on longer-term effects that we can observe of the mitochondria inside the cell? Might show up as the loss of cellular function. It might show up as a cell which is supposed to die, not dying and becoming something else, which could lead to something like cancer forming. So these effects of how well or poorly the body responds to damage that it may or may not have created itself, these are the things we observe when we study anti-aging, and we look to take action in areas that will affect these 3 questions. So ask yourself, how much damage does your body give itself? How much toxins do you create for yourself? How much toxic input do you consume in your diet, in your environmental pollution around you? And then the second question, how well does your body respond to it? How well do you notice, after I eat a certain way, I really feel awful. I feel like I need to take a nap. I can't eat. Every time I eat wheat, my thighs get bloated. I mean, this is your body giving you the answer to that question. Of course, you can go to a lab. You can have your telomeres measured. It's going to cost you like $15,000 for a one-time test, which will be irrelevant data in 90 days. But you can see how well does your body respond to stresses, and you can see how well it reacts to the stresses and toxins that you put into it. So you can already observe that second hallmark of anti-aging, which is your body's response to the body's damage. Then the third thing is, what evidence do I have? Is my hair not growing so quickly anymore? Can I count a lot more skin freckles on my arm or more sunspots? Do I get wrinkled when I go in the sun much faster? These are all signs that your body is functioning less optimally than it was prior. And of course, much of this is what is known as natural aging or natural wear and tear. And how much is natural is really subjective, because I have professors who are in the Mushroom Clinic who are 72 on a biological calendar, and I think most people would think they're somewhere in their late 40s. So again, natural wear and tear and what we accept as natural aging or part of the territory, that's very subjective. It's very much guided by commercial reasons, it's guided by things like food pyramids, which are completely non-factual for so long before someone had said, hey, is this right? And so we have to also question, what is natural aging and wear and tear? Is my chronic liver failure at age 52 really natural? Or are there 92-year-olds who've completely cleaned out their liver and they're living as good of a health from the age 75 to 85, better than I'm suffering at age 52? So I'd encourage you to challenge yourself about the third question, the hallmarks of anti-aging and the effects that you see. And if you accept them as normal, maybe they are. Maybe you're really in a good state of health for your current age. You're in a good state of health span for your lifespan, and you're comfortable with that. But if you're not, then again, it's never too late to start doing something about it. And when we talk about the three hallmarks of anti-aging, and how do we take action? Well, it's quite simple. The first thing we do is to modify our lifestyle, modify our behavior, such that we would stop putting so much stress, whether it's toxic input in nutrition or stress, environmental or emotional stress. We control and we modify the lifestyle or behavior to reduce the toxic input. And it sounds easier than said than done because it has no cost. It has no financial investment. You don't have to do anything to stop eating poison. But it's difficult. People have a hard, oh my goodness, are you kidding me? Okay. Okay. Sorry. The cost of reducing your toxic input is nothing compared to the cost of what that might lead to. So the three steps we encourage everyone to take action in order to improve their own anti-aging state of health is to really check your toxic input, remove, reduce, cancel whatever you can, undo it, and stop doing it. And even if it's just 1% better than you did before, then it's a significant improvement. The second thing we can do is to really start improving our diet and improving our input, such as altering our diet and eating better things. And then the third thing we do is supplements, such as thunder shrooms. So if you will get so much more mileage out of your thunder shrooms investment if you combine it with lifestyle modification and changes to your dietary input, changes to your other nutrient input that would help you be in a better state of health. So when you have better inputs, then there's less work for the thunder shrooms to do. And it will allow the thunder shrooms to have a greater anti-aging effect, because it's almost like the damage that you do to yourself or the environment does to you brings you to, let's say, a negative amount. So you go below zero. And then if you can bring it back up to zero by reducing the input, the toxic input, and also supplementing with better nutrients, you can bring yourself up to close to zero already with lifestyle and dietary changes. Then when you have the thunder shrooms, you go from, let's say, -1 to +6. So you have a much higher starting point when you add the thunder shrooms if you're already investing with effort in your own lifestyle and modification, lifestyle and habit modification, and improving your nutritional consumption. So your dietary input is improved to be free of toxins or less of toxins, but also providing you with a very well-rounded spectrum of macronutrients, such as amino acids. Amino acids are so important for anti-aging, especially for cellular function and for metabolic health and hormone function, which all play a key role in regulating your systems as you age. So by improving your input, your dietary input, this will have a very lasting and universal effect for all of your anti-aging processes. So if you can already do those two, just think, if you already do all those things, which makes such a significant change, now we add the world's most powerful immune message that's found in nature. And it's there because these mushrooms live to 1,000 or 1 million years old. We have biological testing on mushrooms in the lab showing thousands of years old in mushrooms that are only the size of my head. But we also have mushrooms that are size of like 10 people, size of a whole torso of a human. And that one hasn't been dated because it's just too big. So you can imagine, what has nature gifted to these mushrooms that are living a millennia old in nature, in the elements, to survive the harshness of the weather, to live symbiotically with the tree that it grows on. What are these magical, medicinal, powerful compounds that helps this mushroom to live so long that the traditional folk healers in Korea called it the mushroom of immortality? Well, those compounds are the same natural ingredients, active natural ingredients that you find inside your Thundershrooms Critical Care and Thundershrooms Vital Life. Completely naturally derived from 100% wild grown, which is not lab grown, forest tree-borne mushrooms, and only using the fruiting body of the mushroom. The fruiting body is the part of the mushroom that comes out of the tree, and we can see that it's the part that's visible to the naked eye. And that's where the most powerful concentration of nutrients, of active ingredients and active compounds that support our immune health, that's where they're all located, is inside the fruiting body. So inside your Thundershrooms Critical Care and Vital Life, you will get exactly that, which we have observed, and which through modern research, we can understand now exactly what are the compounds inside Thundershrooms that makes it so powerful. And right now, with the sale going on, the information is on screen, is the perfect time to take action for yourself. If you have a little bit more clear immune issue or chronic immune issues, then the Critical Care is for you. And it's a great time to take advantage of the sale because it has a higher price point. Of course, the price point of both of them represents the natural occurring active ingredients found inside. So there's nothing more than a simple measurement of the total amount of active ingredients, and the price of each of the two formulas reflects that concentration of the active ingredients. Slightly different active ingredients from the same mushroom. The Vital Life, more about pushing up the immune strength and keeping it balanced, and the Critical Care, more about pulling down the fire. So again, you achieve immune balance, which is key for maintaining a healthy and balanced immune as we age. And this is what will allow us for our cells to achieve their optimal function, which is when we get that anti-aging appearance and people say, hey, why do you look so good? Well, actually, there's a million things going on, but my body's always doing a million things. And right now, I'm just letting it do its work without impeding it too much. And therefore, my body doesn't show its age so soon. So that's really what I wanted to talk about today with the hallmarks of anti-aging, and how with the Thundershrooms we can kickstart our own body's regeneration, our own body's rejuvenation. The sale on offer right now gives a tremendous opportunity to stock up. And again, don't forget, these mushrooms are found in nature to be thousands to 1 million years old. The mushrooms as you buy them in Thundershrooms extract are likewise they can last a long time. Of course, because of packaging, there is a shelf life. But it's a perfect time to stock one, a few months supply for yourself, even for the whole year. Many people I know in Thailand, they just do it once a year. They buy once a year, they buy for the whole family, 12 months ahead. They take advantage of whenever we have a seasonal sale, which is not often, usually around this time, New Year or Lunar New Year, which is very important where we are, just next week. So it's a really good time when it's the time they invest in their health for the new year. They want to have the new year full of good health to enable them to do all the things they want and live their best life possible. So similarly, as our body's never static and we're always alive until we're not, it's always the right time to start taking action and doing something more for yourself than you were doing yesterday. So I will leave it there, and I will just answer 3 very quick questions which I had sent in. Let me see. Excuse me. Sorry. Okay. Yes. I talked on anti-aging function before. I got a couple questions about menopause and bloatedness, and I've spoken on this a few shows back again, but I would love to just remind people that when we see things like bloatedness due to postmenopause or premenopause or perimenopause, these are excessive symptoms, and they're not the biological norm, in that they can be improved And our body doesn't need to show such excessive signs of, say, bloating or hot flashes if our hormones are in a more balanced state. And the way that the hormones return to a more balanced state is by improving the intercellular communication and the intercellular balance through things like thundershrooms, through things like lifestyle and dietary modification, and through other things like, for example, the IGF, which is available in the Doc of Detox store, which is a direct oral ingested hormone called insulin-like growth factor, which is almost considered to be like a mother hormone for the rest of our hormones in the body. So from that hormone, the rest of them flow, and the thundershrooms facilitates the flow. It corrects the communication in between the cells, in between the hormones. So then we start providing the mother hormone of the body through improved diet and reducing the leaking of the hormone by reducing our stresses or removing our stresses. We can then improve. Now we have full supply of the hormone in our body, and the thundershrooms allows it to go to all the places and improve the cellular communication, which then brings down things like chronic inflammation in menopausal women. So don't ever accept symptoms of poor quality of life as the norm, because our body doesn't like to be in pain, and it will always find a better way to exist. And we can just help it along. Something like the thundershrooms will allow it to fix the cellular communication and bring down these chronic like symptoms of more aging and lifestyle disease, such as, not disease, but lifestyle conditions such as menopause or premenopause. Okay, the other question I have was, does thundershrooms help with sex drive? This is a great question, and it does. And particularly with the critical care, we have a very common statistically relevant percentage of client feedback in Asia of men over the age of 60, 65 reporting that at a double dose, some have reported on a single dose, which is 1 bottle per month, double dose is 2 bottles per month, reported improved basically sexual virility, improved erection strength, frequency, and basically all the sexual health of what they say as a younger man. And I would say, well, no, that could also be your sexual health at any age. It's just that you lost it, and they are able to find it again. And that's particularly from the critical care, because the critical care opens up the circulatory system, so the blood is able to flow a lot better all the way down there. And if you think about the blood flowing throughout your body, the distance from the brain to the other brain is quite far. And so if the blood flow is not strong enough, there's traffic on the highway, maybe the blood's not going to get there, and there's no curtain raiser, right? So that's what we're doing with the critical care, is to improve the circulatory system, let the blood flow to where it wants to go, and on with the show. So that was the other question I have. Definitely, it is reported to help with sex drive in males. And do they ship worldwide? Yes, you need to check with the fulfillment center. And if you have any questions, I believe they do ship worldwide from the fulfillment center. If you have any issues, you can always contact us or contact me directly on the email you'll see in the show notes below, which is thundershrooms.docofdetox@gmail.com, where I'll be happy to answer any of your individual questions, which you might not want to ask on air. And I look forward to seeing you again on the next episode of The Miracle of Mushrooms, where again, we're going to explore something that's exciting and powerful that awaits you inside thundershrooms to help you reach your maximum unlimited healing potential. So until then, I wish you a very good week and have a great day. Ciao.